Hello everyone and welcome. Now this is part 2 of yesterday's video when I did the unboxing of Christmas and said you won't believe what I'm unboxing. But I've got some panels here. I'm going to make some more cards here today. And I'm just going to show you how I did this A4. I cut it down to 4 just under A2 size panels. I did an 1/8 of an inch under an A2 size panel, and then I've got some strips at the bottom. So I was able to get 4 panels out of this A4 size paper and then some strips that I can add to the bottom or the inside. And then I also cut my pattern or my cardstock down into panels, and then I die cut the centers out with this Love from Lizzie postage stamp set. I did this so that I could use the outer layer for a background layer for my panels, and then I could use the inner layers for focal panels on my cards. And I'm just trying to make the most of the cardstock that was included in the kit. So I've got these to where I have die cut out, and I've got the postage stamp nested die from Love from Lizzie, and that's what I used to cut this out. So we're just going to get this gold specialty paper laid down here on my card base, and we're just going to have, because I cut my pattern paper down to just an 1/8 of an inch shy of an A2 size card on both width and length, we're just going to have a 1/16 of an inch border around this pattern paper, and we'll just have the slightest bit around there. But I did want a border, and so I think it looks nice when you get it laid down on there to have that real thin border on there. And I've taken this gold paper that has all of the little, they're like stamps turned in all different directions and everything, and it's, just all the different sentiments and everything. And for this, I'm going to use one of these cut-aparts. I think she calls them decoupage sheets, and I'm just going to pop these out. And I'm going to take this one that has the red frame with the bird sitting on the branch, and I'm going to use the other pieces to pop it up. So I'm going to bring in some of the ribbon, and I'm going to bring in this candy stripe ribbon and just cut a strip of it down, and we're going to adorn our pattern paper with this. And I'm just going to give it a quick snip with my scissors, and we're going to add, this is going to add just some color to our base layer and just some additional interest. And I'm just going to use my tape runner and just run a line of tape down there, and then I'll get my ribbon stuck down, and it will just add a little bit of color. I get it down a little bit crooked there, and then I'll lift it up and move it. Since I use the tape runner, I could do that pretty easy. And then I'm going to lay my panel with my bird next to it. I'm going to try and get it centered. We're just going to glue this flat down because we're going to pop up the extra bird and floral element on top of this just to add some definition and some dimension. So you've got all of those pieces there, and you can pop these other pieces out, and you could use them separately or do what I'm doing and lay them on top of your original die cut piece to just add some dimension. And I'm using these little foam dimensionals that were included in the kit. You've got a bunch of them, and they're actually black, so they won't, you won't see white underneath there. They're actually black colored ones. And I'm just going to pop it up and just line it up perfectly over my bird that is already on my frame and just add some dimension. And that really makes a nice little addition to your card. And then I'm going to pop out the flower that was right next to it, and we'll pop it up and put it right over our flower on the panel. And that will give us some good dimension. And we'll just lay that on there. And you can see we've got some dimension there with our bird and our flower. And now I'm going to pop out this greeting here, and I'm going to use it for Christmas wishes on here, and I think it'll be pretty. And I'm going to pop it up too. So we'll just get some of these on there. Give them a good press, and then we'll pull those off. They're tiny. Probably should use my pick tool to kind of pull them off, but we'll get them off of there. And we're just going to get this laid down in the corner. And I like how that's positioned there. Kind of clean up those bits off of my... Now this piece I want to put on the inside of my card. This was the little strip that was left after I cut the 4 panels down. And I'm going to use those strips up on the insides of my card, just to give them kind of a finished look on it as well. Now I'm going to study this a bit longer, and then we're going to bring in some more stuff. I found this Merry Christmas sentiment that you could pop out of the decoupage page, and I'm going to put it in there. I remembered last year when I did my Christmas cards that I didn't put sentiments on the inside, and I don't want to have to do all of that at the end of the year. Now I decided, since I used this on here that it might be fun to bring the coordinating bow in to go with it, and I've decided I'm going to do that. So I'm going to lay some glue down and some tape runner. The tape will give me some quick hold, and we'll just tuck this in, and I think this adds a nice touch to it, and it finishes the card off nicely. So that'll finish up our card. So now I've actually officially got 2 cards for 2025 ready, but I'm going to make a couple more. I want to use the stamp set, and so I took some blue paper, and I used the Versamark ink that was included in the kit, and I stamped it down on this blue paper, and I used the Gold Crown embossing powder that Love from Lizzie included in the kit, and I embossed it. And I thought it looked nice on the dark blue panel. No need to color. You've got the gold embossing on there, and we'll just use that. And then I'm going to bring in this pattern paper here that I cut the same way. I got 4 panels out of it, and then I got some strips that I can put on the inside. And these are just a whole bunch of stamp-like Santa pictures on here. And one of those pictures looks exactly like that stamp set. And so I thought it'd be fun to lay this down and then to put that circle stamped image on there. Now I had a die that was just the right size to die cut that out. Certainly you could fussy cut it if you're so inclined, but likely you probably have a circle die that you could use. So I've got it die cut out, and I've got a Christmas sentiment there in red that I think will be pretty, and I'm thinking I'm going to bring in one of these bows for it. And then I saw my gold panel that I had laid there, and I thought it'd be nice to have some separation between my pattern paper and my dark blue. And so I decided to bring in that gold postage stamp panel that I had die cut out, and I'm going to lay my blue on there and then arrange my sentiment, and I think this will be how I'll pull this particular card together. So let's just get everything laid down, and I'm going to offset it, you know, kind of top right, and just get that laid down. I love that gold cardstock. It's really pretty. And we'll get our Santa laid down there. I'm going to cross layers, so I am going to bring in just a few of those dimensionals just to help it to lay flat. They're not really thick dimensionals, so the foam pieces there. So I'm just going to pull the backers off, and we'll get this laid down. We're going to add some glue, and we'll get it laid down on there. And it's a lovely stamp set. There is another stamp set that's in the kit that I haven't used yet, and I will not use on today's video, but as we move throughout the year and I continue to use this, you'll see the various pieces that I'm using. But I'm going to bring in a bow, and I'm just auditioning all the bows, trying to figure out which one I'm going to go with. And I think I'm going to kind of keep with the blue. This has some blue and green on there, so I'm going to kind of keep with that blue element. I'm putting some tape runner on there, and I got a little bit more on there than I need, so I'll take my finger and kind of clean it up. It cleans up nicely. And then we'll tuck our sentiment in there. We got our bow laid down. Getting a little drink. I'm still very stuffy, so I apologize for that. I'm going to lay my red sentiment down on here. And I'm considering those holly stickers that are, but I decided against it. I thought I had enough on there. We're going to make one more. I'm going to bring in another one of these frames that I die cut out that stitched, or the postage stamp nested die out of, and I'm going to bring that Santa paper back in. And I'm also going to bring in a piece of that blue that I used on yesterday's card when I did the unboxing. And I'm going to put it on the center there and kind of create a landing point for our focal image. So we'll get this gold panel laid down on here. And then we'll lay our patterned paper on there. And we're going to have that 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So we'll lay that down carefully. And then we're going to bring our blue piece and lay it in there. I thought about for a minute about popping it up. Then I thought, nope, just glue it down flat. We're working with Christmas cards that are going to get mailed. And I just love that. All of this coordinates so wonderfully together. I had seen one of these pieces here that I thought would look nice on it, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it, trying to decide if that's what I want to use. And this is another one of those that you cut through the circle punches, and it creates a stamp edge on there. And so I'm just going to cut through those, and we'll create the stamp edge on this, and we will add this to our card. And once you get it cut away, then you got to wiggle out all those half circles that you've got there all the way around, and it creates your stamped edge. And I suppose I could have taken this sheet and popped all those circles out before I cut it, and then I wouldn't have to mess with that. That might be something that I think about doing for the future. So we're going to get this panel laid down on there, and I think it'll look nice on there. It's got the Santa, and it's got some Christmas greetings on there. And I'm just going to kind of center it. And then I got to thinking about my Love from Lizzie strips, and I thought I would grab my favorite ones, which are these gold glitter strips. And I had some bits and pieces there that I had saved from other ones. So I'm going to just try it out and see if I can kind of evenly space them on there and use it and just add some additional sparkle to my card. So we'll get them laid down on there, and I'm trying to find a couple, 2 or 3 that are about the same size. And so I'll just check them out, and those are pretty close. I'm going to get them laid down on there. And that'll just add some additional gold bling sparkle to our card, and I think it looks really pretty. And now I'm just thinking, do I want to put a bow on here? Is there anything else I want to add? So I just grab my sentiment and I add some foam tape on there, some little foam squares, and we'll get it popped up and laid down on here. And I'm going to clean up my workspace a little bit there. We'll get this laid down. And then that will pretty much finish off this card. And so we'll just review what we've done. Here was the card I did on the unboxing. Then we did our bird with a bow. And we did our Santa stamp. And then we've got our Santa there with our Love from Lizzie strip. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.